Hello. Remember me? Remember that introductory music? I think I might start doing that every day. That way it's just a very set amount of time. Then, of course, we come in with the royalty-free instrumental that we're all familiar with. Yeah. Epidemic Sound instrumental. Which is right about that volume level, so I can hear myself think, whatever that means. Yeah. There we go. We're gonna put a flipboard over there. Well, at 1 o'clock this morning, that's what my home screen looked like, right there. And of course, look at that. That's an outstanding result on my speed test by Ookla, Ookla speed test. 1,357 megabits per second down. I'd say from this position, that's an all-time record. Upload speed 56.3. I need 10, and I got 56. The jitter is only 3. That's been up as high as 30. We don't want jitter. That's when the internet is wobbling. That's when I lose. This is a Simulcast, right? 3 social networks: Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Twitter, aka X. Weekdays at 9 o'clock. Every other Saturday at 10. It's now 10:06, and we've been let's see, we've been on here 3 minutes and 56 seconds. So you do the math. So we're on 10:03. That's right. It takes me about 3 minutes to hit all my buttons real fast. Yepper. Yeah, I like that. Brighten it up just a little bit. Turn up the black point. Yeah. Nice. I kept that for posterity. I pay for 2,000 megabits per second. I get 1357 has been my best. Which, that's okay. Look at that. The jet is pushing into the atmosphere. It's such an incredible G-force that it's creating a very low pressure right above the wings. And it's making a cloud. The cloud is following it at about 500 miles an hour. That's a nice Vanderwolf Images Shutterstock contributed that image. I have one just like it. You can go on my site, 4161100.com. Just page down to public and civic events. There it is. Wow. Nice. We can, doing a little A little quick edit here, just to darken up the fuselage a little bit. Intensify the fine colors just a little bit. When it gets over about 700 miles an hour, I think that's Mach 1. And then you hit the sound barrier, and then you hear the kaboom, the major kaboom. All right. That is the official signature of a weather advisory of Boca News Now. There you go. National Hurricane Center has noticed a low pressure floating around. It's scary when you get these advisories just pop up out of nowhere. Famous hurricane in 1992 just swarmed right off the coast of Florida, and then came right. Then it made a 45-degree turn and went down and just crossed underneath Hollywood. Whew. We owned a bank right there. I was vice chairman of the board and CEO of a bank called Southern Security Bank. We were a publicly filing company. You can look me up. Yep, I was on the board for about 11 years. And we sold out to a big bank and monetized everybody's stock. The big news in the car business, in case you don't follow the car business, is the Model 2 is coming to us. This Epstein story, there's no story. Okay, Epstein is a guy that was jailed because of an indictment from him and his girlfriend from eliciting underage females to meet up with high net worth or highly visible people, supposedly in undisclosed trips to an island that Epstein owned. And the Epstein files, which were accumulated by the FBI, we don't know what they contain, but the media is hoping for a little black book that has Trump's name in it. It's not going to have Trump's name in it. Trump never went to the little island, so he's never been on, a manifest or anything like that. Clinton went 21 times, so, oh no, they're not interested in the Clinton. They want to see if any Republican people are on that list. That's the only thing they can do, is try to dig up dirt and throw it in the public's face to distract from all the winning, because Trump is win, win, win. Are you tired of winning yet? He says. He knows how to get the media talking. Okay, science says that emotionally intelligent people, I don't know what emotionally intelligent as opposed to intelligent. In other words, people that are really smart with their emotions always share bad news first to help improve problem solving and reduce anxiety. That was the headline news. Yep. I'll buy it. I always ask Marilyn, do you want the bad news first? Or do you want the good news first? Marilyn says, hit me with the bad news. I can handle bad. We are so used to, oh my God, we've had a lot of good news. We've done pretty good. We lived high off the hog, as they say. High off the hog. You know what that means? When you have a barbecue where you got the whole hog on the fire, you want to slice into that high meat. Yeah, you want to be high off the hog. You don't want to be on the low part of the hog, because that's where you get all that fatty. It's not good for you. So you want slicing off you want the high meat. Later on, kinesiologists have named all these muscles. The T-bones and the sirloins and the rib bones, and I used to know all the bones and muscles. Yeah, I was a pre-med student. They made you dissect. You have to dissect the hog. Actually, we dissected cats. They have more bones than human, but they got a lot of similarity bones. Yeah, the hip bone, the elbow. They just have a few more bones than we do, so they can slither around and jump high. Bones aren't the same length and shape, but they, the tibias and all that stuff. Yep. We had to memorize every bone and muscle in a cat. Why are we doing this? Why don't we just go to a real cadaver and memorize all those bones and muscles, since that's what we're going to be doing, in about 5.5 years. If you give me a little help here, wasting all my time on this stupid cat. Well, you had to do it, so okay, I'll do it. I had like a double major. I had to, yeah. I majored in bugology and chemistry. I was a chemistry major first for a couple of years, and then I decided to major in biology also, because I wanted to increase my chances of, doing well on the MCAT test, the medical college admission test. So you had to remember, in biology, chemistry, you had to calculate things. So it was a little more, exciting. So I memorized biology, and I, calculated chemistry. Then you get into some radical, experiments. That's the cabinet room. It looks like a lot bigger room than what I remember. There's a room right off the Oval Office that is, I think, a bit smaller than this. Look at that. The president, has decorated this room. Look at the pictures. He's put up there. There's a Lincoln picture. These are all paintings that are in the vault underneath the White House. So he went down there with the curator. You have people in charge of the photos, of the pictures and the frames and the way you store them. And he's got them hanging everywhere. And look at that. He took that grandfather clock out of at Rubio's office and said, Marco, you see that clock? I want that clock. Rubio said, fine, take the clock. Trump says, I can take it. I don't have to ask your permission. Mr. President, you have my permission. Take the clock. So he has two guys right behind him. They put the clock on a little dolly. That's a big clock. That's a big one. Because these ceiling heights they're high ceiling heights. You can tell because these people in the back are standing up. And you figure the biggest one is 6 feet tall. You draw a line under there, and you got at least to the top of the little spick-a-wicker. That's probably 9 foot tall clock. And as I remember, in the day, they had 9 foot grandfather clocks, they call them. Yep. That's it. They had 6 foot, 8 foot, and 9 foot. He's got his cabinet hanging around. You can see he's got his attorney general there. He's got his secretary of defense, SecCom. There's the Secretary of the Interior, I believe, this former governor of North Dakota. There is the governor. There's housing, no, health and no. Yeah, you know who she is. I guess HRS. Yeah. You got the staffers stand around. Yeah, photographers. Some highly credentialed. The Secretary of Education is there. Yep, there's our Secretary of Money. He may be our new, this guy right here may be the new Treasury Secretary, which means his signature goes on all the money. I think I'd go for that position. Mr. President, make me Secretary of the Treasury. I can help your cause. Yes, we'll step these rates down big time. The rates go high. Not only does everyone pay more for money, like they're buying cars and houses, but our debt is so big. Every point is like $1 trillion in interest we got to pay out. Let's drop that rate, baby. Yep. This week, Tulsi Gabbard. Oh my gosh, she declassified all this stuff about the dossier and the fact that it's a bunch of baloney. The dossier was written not by anybody that, knows anything about anything. We just lost Twitter. Heck with them. We'll continue without them. So now we're simulcast of YouTube Live and Facebook Live. We got plenty of bandwidth. I don't know what happened. There's not a lot of jitter out there. That's what the IT people say when the internet starts to wobble. Yeah, there's our press secretary to the left. Yep. And Tulsi Gabbard. So she's The press secretary is a smart cookie. She's like 28. She's the youngest secretary of, not secretary, press, secretary of the press secretary. But it's not a cabinet position. No. It could be. I think Trump should elevate her to a cabinet level position. It changes her security detail, number one. It changes her pay rate, the pay level. After Trump's office, she's a cabinet level position person that'll be sought after by the media. Oh my God. Ooh, Fox will hire that one in a minute. There'll be a big contract chasing her. Are you kidding me? Woo! Look at that. She fits right into that. She's got a nice figure. Nice, attractive face. Look at that. Very attractive young lady. 28, 29-year-old. I think a mother of one, a 2-year-old. That's a guess. Not infant. Do you approve or disapprove on the strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities? Republicans approve it by 85%. The MAGA Republicans approve it by 94%. Well, I don't know what the MAGA Republicans disapprove 6%. What? They must be, rhino MAGA Republicans. There's a MOE, that's margin of error, is plus or minus 5.4%. So that can be 80, it could be 90, or it could be 80. If, let's just round it to 5. Keep it simple. So it's plus or minus. So it can be 99% or 89% of MAGA Republicans. The statistics is very annoying. I took it in college, and I thought I'd love it. I hated it. As a matter of fact, this is a little bit of a guess. I think I hated it so much. You're allowed 90 days to drop out of the class with no grade. In other words, it didn't matter how well or how bad you did, but you just withdrew. I don't know if they had withdrew passing or whether it was after 90 days, if you weren't doing well, and let's say you weren't passing the course, heaven forbid, you could WF, withdraw failing. I don't know why you would do that. I guess you'd do that just because you don't want to waste time sitting in there. Yeah. I withdrew passing. I think I withdrew. I didn't like statistics. I don't know, it was very boring. They had names for all these different things. And they were nonsensical names. It's, at least when you memorized biology, the names made sense. You're naming an organ or a muscle or a tissue or a ligament or, the part of a heart. Yeah. We dissected bovine hearts. Yeah. Bovine. AKA cow hearts. Wow, a massive crowd in Poland started chanting, Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Yeah. That's pretty exciting. And now Rocky, in a campaign speech. Now Rocky is pro-Trump. He just won the president-elect in Poland. Make American great. Make Europe great again. Yes, sir. Poland is right next to, Ukraine. And Ukraine is under attack by the Russians. Rubio's a tough guy. He's sneaky good. He's a very polite gentleman. Parents of Russian, Cuban immigrants. Sorry. Yep. Here's Tulsi Gabbard going over in extreme detail with charts. You can see behind the big image. And Obama, the famous date, December 9, 2017, I think, or something like that. December 9th. After Trump got elected, but before Obama left office, Obama on December 9 said, we got to change this intelligence position that we have. We got to make this Russian. Oh yeah, the Russians help Trump get elected. And so they immediately, these guys are just disgusting. How they waste American money, essentially fighting the opposition party that just got elected. So you can't just accept the will of the people, as they say. No, you gotta make it terrible. So they basically forged, internal documents to make them, they reworded everything to make it sound like the Russians had everything to do with electing Trump and discrediting Hillary, which was not the fact, because on December 7th, just 2 days before, all these intelligence reports came out saying that that the Russians, they did interfere with the election. They were just trying to create chaos. They didn't care who the hell got elected. Truthfully, really, that's what the intelligence report said. We don't, they have like these intelligence officers, that are embedded in Moscow or whatever, or just got back, from trips. They travel in and out of, Russia, and they were part of our intelligence network. And they write reports and funnel them up through the State Department and basically saying, hey, I'm on the ground here, and, all the Putin and all his people, they could care less who gets elected. They just want to shake it up. They want to create chaos. I can put it as simply as that. And they had 5 different intelligence officers that specialized, in the European and the Eastern European and the Middle European and the Russian state. And they just wanted chaos. And then on December 9th, Obama says, that's why his picture's there, because she's reading passages in the intelligence network where they're basically saying on December 9th, we've got to change all this. So they went back, and they were charged, Brennan and Clapper. You can't make up these names. I mean, oh gosh. Clapper, get me some. So he went back to his 5 intelligence officers and said, hey, you got to write this differently. We need to make it sound like Trump was really, favored in all this stuff. And they wrote back, all 5 of them said, we can't do it. There's nothing there. Well, it sure seems like it. That's what he said. So it sure seems like it was the word of the day. And he just, overwrote his 5 intelligence officers. And, he and the CIA head said, oh, yeah, it was definitely Russian help. What a bunch of crap. All right, what do we got? It's July 24th. You probably know that, right? No, it isn't. It's July 26th. Where have you been, boy? Come on. It's July 26th. It's Saturday. Everyone knows that. This is just a test. Yeah. July 24th is when Tulsi Gabbard broke the news. Yeah, it was on Thursday. Thursday is the best day to embark on the next news cycle. So you have all day Thursday, all day Friday, and then it slips right into the weekend. So you get 4 good solid days. I mean, that's what they do. Yep, the news people. There's my home page. You can see settings, clock, speed, watch, iMovie, camera. I go to the second row is all my camera stuff because I use the camera more than I use the phone on the iPhone. Yeah. And Apple, the company, knows that people are using the camera more and more. Oh, yeah. And the messaging. Yeah. I'm having a little trouble with my soundboard. It won't turn on properly. So I contacted Assyrian. I have Assyrian protection. I pay $16 a month. And everything that's purchased today, and going back a full year, yesterday, all they go back a month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 10 months, 11 months, 11 months and 30 days ago. Everything that you bought on Amazon is covered by Assyrian protection. Yep. These are 0950, yeah. I don't know why I have 2 of these. This was procured at 6:13 p.m. and this is procured at 5:03 p.m. Okay. This is what you got to do. You got to pack it up, put it in a box. Yeah. They're telling you how to. This is the. If you've seen this little purple thing show up in your face when you buy something from Amazon.com, you can add this protection. You can protect the device itself. You can buy a 2-year or a 3-year protection plan on the item, or you can pay $16.95 or $16.99, whatever, 16 something, and everything that you purchased from Amazon.com is protected. So I filled out a claim form, pack it up, put it in the box, get your form, and you click there. If this is, sign in, get the repair form, and then within there's another button you push. If it's Amazon, here's your special service request number, which is it's in the billions. 1,872,481,339. I just remember the last 4 digits. 1339. Yep. Assyrian. I've done a claim with them. Assyrian had a deal with AT&T. Where all your iPhones and your iPads, everything connected with the digital line, and then they went. Then after a couple of years, then they restricted it to 4 items that have a digital line, like your 2 iPhones and 2 iPads. Yeah. So. I had an iPad that went dead. It was 4.5 years old, and it wouldn't charge anymore. So it was dead. So I sent it to I called him on. I guess I went online. Yeah, and I filled out a form online. This is Assyrian / AT&T. I filled out a form and said it was dead, and they said okay, and they see it was, with the cellular connectivity and 1 terabyte of storage. Do you want silver or black? I don't think I had a choice. They didn't give me a choice of color. They just got black. Or yeah. And there it comes, You'll receive it by FedEx, overnight delivery. You'll get it by tomorrow morning at 10. And just send us back the dead one. And I packaged it up and sent back the dead one. And, they give you a UPS label for that, which, of course, I kept. And made a image of, like that. Which is forever in my photo library somewhere, deep. I figure. Anyway, so I got a brand new iPad. It's a nice. You see how thin this one is? It's one of these 5mm thin ones with the dual 2 cameras plus the LiDAR. Yeah, I mean it's brand new iPad. I'll show you. Here we go. Go to General. Go to About. iPad 13-inch. It was the 12.9 that I sent back. The new one is there you go. in the software version. I've just downloaded iPad OS operating system beta 26. They've renamed all the versions of the iPads, or at least the operating systems, I should say. You know, the number of times it's been updated, dating back to day one, which was like 10 years ago. So instead of it being, you know, iPad OS version 11.2, it's now 26 because they've had 26 updates. Major updates. Because of its... And then you have this other 23A5997. There's going to be a few more updates of this iPad 26 before the release of the new phone, because this is July 26th. Oh my God. And so you got 31 days in July, right? So you got 5 more days, and it's going to be August. Oh my God. August, September, that means you only got 6 weeks to the new iPhone 17. Oh, the big deal with iPhone 17 is... I know, I'm going to circle back to the iPad here. The new deal with iPhone 17 is they're going to have a 45 million pixel imager behind the telephoto lens. It's being upgraded from 12 million pixels to 45 million pixels. That's huge. That's huge. All right, this iPad, the network is AT&T. As you can see, I have 103,000 photographs. I tell you, I take a lot of pictures. Everybody that knows me knows that. How many pictures you got on your device? I got 103,766 photos on this iPad as we speak. 586 videos, 37 songs, which I don't know what they are. And I have 1 terabyte of capacity, and I've got 297 gigabytes available. Now, as ridiculous as this sounds, if they offer this, you know, if I were to get a new iPad, I'm going to get the 2 terabyte version because I've only got 30% headroom here in this capacity. Then I have to start thinking about what I'm going to get rid of. I don't like to do that. I like to keep most everything. I don't like, you know, duplicate photos. You can get rid of duplicates. Absolute duplicates. Not close. I mean duplicates. Anyway, I probably got 20 gigabytes tied up, you know, out of this 103,000. And there's probably 3,700 duplicate photos in there, embedded. All right. My carrier is AT&T. The version of connectivity is 64.5.16. There's my cellular data number. I have a particular data line number. It is, you know, 213-8930. There you go. Area code 561. You can see it right there. I've put it in the name of this iPad. I put the serial number of the iPad. There you go. It ends up with 66V. There it is, 66V. You can you can change the name. You can make that whatever you want. So I call it, conveniently, Jim W 13-inch. I put an Apple in there. It's an iPad Pro. It's 13-inch. You can see that with an M4 chip. You can see that. So I put M4 up there. 2024 M4. So that way you know when you compare it with other iPads that this is the most recent iPad out there. Well, I only have. Some people only have 256 gigabytes. I have 297 gigabytes available, and I think that's too few. I want that to be 500 gigabytes available. If it was 500 gigabytes available, I would get my next iPad at 1 terabyte. It'd be enough. But now we're getting into, less than 300 gigabytes. So it's less than a third. You're getting, that's like a gas tank. You're getting close to empty. You're getting close to an eighth of a tank, which is 0.166. 0.166. Yeah. When you get to 1/8, I think. One divided by 8 equals 1.250. Yeah, 1.250. All you smart guys out there saying, come on, Jimmy, can't you divide that better? Yeah, when you got an eighth of a tank, how many quarters? Come on. Eight quarters and $1. 25 cents. 0.2. Yeah. 1.25. Yeah. Four quarters and $1. Divide that by 2. What do you got? 0.125. It's simple. You can do it in your head. Go back to my photos. Starlink. For those of you that have Starlink, there's a couple of you that I know that have Starlink. Starlink went down on Thursday afternoon. There were more than 55,000 that reported it out. There's a lot more out than 55,000. It's just that some people didn't notice. It went out at 3 in the afternoon. There's a place called the Down Detector. Can you believe it? Downdetector.com, probably. Let's try that. Let's just guess at that. The Down Detector. You silly boy. DOWNDEC. Down Detector. Oh no, come on. We've got to edit that name. There it is. Down Detector. Let's go to Wikipedia. We can go back. Down Detector URL. 13 years ago in April 2012, if I remember correctly. I'm so smart. Yeah, you're a real smart fella. The information contained herein is whatever. Come on. Just tell me. References. External links. They're not helping much. So let's go here. Whew. It's awfully bright. Down detector probably. And down detector was acquired by Ookla, my favorite speed test company. Yeah, There's a factoid that you should remember. Let's go to down detector. Yeah, let's see. Gosh, that's awfully bright. It's making my glasses fog up. Whoa! Level 3 outage maps. Okay. Down. How far down do we gotta go? Woo! We're showing major outages. Not now. They're just showing you what the outage maps look like. Yeah, woo. Okay, let's do gray. So it doesn't slap you in the face quite so hard. CenturyLink. Let's see. User reports indicate no current problems. I canceled some subscriptions. One of them was a cleaning app. I should have known better. And, bam, all of a sudden, you're here, I'm going to charge you $39.95. Really? I mean, I went to Apple and said, get me out of here. I beg you. So there's something where you can check to see what happened. I know how to cancel. Manage your payments. Request. Yeah, now we're down. Now we're getting to the sign in. All right, I'll sign in. Face ID. Okay, Face ID worked. It worked sideways with this iPad. Yeah, family sharing. Where's that big one? What happened with that one? This is it right here. Oh, crap. Not eligible for a refund. Why the hell's that? Review decision. That is... Okay. Well, I have to change this. trickly. You can hear me typing.
It's 11 o'clock.
let me show you what I'm doing. I'm trying. God, this Moby Drive 2 terabyte Moby Office. Jeez, I don't even know what the hell this is. Okay. I left off one important item. This this one here. This one is a joke. They charged me $40. It's good until July 23, 2000. So I've got it for a year. I didn't realize that I was buying it. I immediately went for a refund within seconds of pressing apparently a wrong button, and I got zapped for $40. I mean, the predatory nature of some of these apps, they're really smart and tricking you into, give it a this and give it a that. You're with these touch screens, you move your hand across the screen, and wham! All of a sudden, whoa! Yeah, it flashes and thank you very much. We thank you very much. Give me my money back. I didn't know. So when you request a refund within nanoseconds of when you supposedly bought it, So Apple, come on, get real. That's what I said with the Moby. But I should have. I gave Apple 4 reasons why I think they should overturn their decision. Not eligible. Kiss my butt. I've bought over 500 apps. It's probably 600 apps, over the years. And yeah, I've requested refunds, You got to go through your stuff and make sure you don't want some stuff. And Apple's been very good, over the last 5 or 10 years. But these app companies are getting trickier and trickier. You know. I want to see if I can keep this page open. Oh, I don't want to lose that one. I want to come back to that. I think if they turn you down the next time, I'm toast. I mean, that sucks. $40. A lot of these apps are like $2, $3, $4, $40. That's serious money for an app. You know, that's something you would pay to Adobe for a Photoshop app. This is like a cleaner that's bullshit. It doesn't even do anything. You know, I'm really aggravated over that one. I'm about to write Tim Cook on that one. $40 is a lot of money. And these app companies are getting too fast and furious, you know. They ought to have a button say, are you sure you want to spend $39.95 for 1 year of this service? When you haven't even tried it out? We're sorry, we're not going to give you not even 1 nanosecond of a tryout to see if it works. That tells you something about, you know, boom, let's get the money and run and hope the app people don't refund it, because they get a third of the money. $40, they get 12 of it. So they don't want to give back their $12. Is that what it's all about? Apple? I'm talking to thousands of people. I could be talking to 30 million people. I'm talking to probably 3. If I'm lucky, yeah. Well, you know, someday you're going to come back to this. July 26th day. And you're going to listen to what I said. And we'll see if Apple has shaped up after my tongue lashing. Really, I mean, you know, it's a matter of the people that review the apps, you know, before they put them online for, you know, access to their 2 billion people. They need to be a little more vigilant on, you know, if you mistakenly if your finger mistakenly just swipes by, if the edge of your knuckle, I mean, this stuff is touchscreen. You don't have to go to the keyboard. You just, you know, swipe, get near it with these capacitance screens, and it could activate, you know, a go button to go to the pay window. And when all of a sudden it's, whoa, wait a minute. Give me those 220s back. I don't want the nickel change. I want my 220s back. I'm standing right there with the cashier. I didn't even do anything with the stupid app. And wham, $40 disappeared. Or $39.99, whatever the hell it was. You know, they don't give you 12 months. They don't give you a monthly option. They didn't give you a weekly option. Wham, $40. I don't want a year, you know, and if you cancel it within 3 minutes or 2 minutes or 1 minute, I immediately went for a refund on that sucker. I figured, now how do I get out of this? There's no way to getting out of the app. I tried the normal windows for that. So it took me a while to figure out where the hell this, the support thing is. That's not exactly a big button on their thing, because they don't want to give the money back, because they get 30% of it. Don't forget. So, a $30 app, they get $10 of it. Well, a $40 app, they get $13. And so if they give it up, that's $13 out of the till. The people that review this stuff aren't allowed to give too much money back. They get shits. They run the attaboy, or the shit. Oh, shit. Oops, excuse me. The attaboy. Yeah, the attaboy method. We know what the other one is. I'm not going to say it again. I'm sorry. Hopefully there was no children in the audience. Okay. On to another topic, because my blood pressure just went up too. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Stop it. Oh, my God. Oh. That's Marilyn's sister. They're talking to each other. And if she doesn't answer it, or did answer it, it comes up on her iPad also. Oh, jeez. Sorry for that. Sounds like that's worse than a fire alarm. Anyway, as I was saying, I have downloaded and I have installed iOS 26 onto all my iPads, I believe. Yep, they all have it now, and they have this, this like liquid crystal display kind of a thing, liquid glass they call it, live translations and other improvements. So you can turn on your iPad or your iPhone while you're standing there with a person from Yugoslavia who's screaming at you in Yugoslav, and you can put on the live translator, and all those words will come up right on the screen. Or if you have an ear thing in your ear from Apple, the translation will come right in your ear. So he's yelling at you in Ukrainian, and you can hear it in English without exclamation points, with live translation. Now, I don't know how many languages. Whoops. Oh my God, where'd it go? Whoa, that's a view to give you an idea how many photos I've got. Where's the live translation thing? It's this one right here. There you go. This is a photograph of the page that was talking about it. That live translation. So the question is, with iOS 26, how many languages are covered with live translation? All right, let's ask that question. So how do we do that? You just put your finger in the middle of the screen and pull down, and then a search screen shows up. How many? HOW. Many. All right, how does that look? Let's go back. before I push C. All right. How many languages are included? Live translation feature in iOS 26. That looks good. Let's press enter. We'll just touch that one. Do you mean how many languages are included with live translation? Yes, let's press that one. I must not have said that right. There are 9 languages. You see how nice that is? This is the Apple Intelligence, the AI. You can see, this is the AI overview. iOS 26, the live translation feature includes support for 9 languages at launch, with plans to add 8 more by the end of this year. So they've got 5 months to go. The initial languages are English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Portuguese, Spanish, and Chinese. Chinese simplified. The additions are going to be Danish, Dutch, Norwegian, European Portuguese. That would help, since Portugal is in Europe. Swedish, Turkish, traditional Chinese, Mandarin, in other words, and Vietnamese. Wow. Now that's unbelievable. Live translation in iOS is designed to work directly with apps like Messages, Phone, FaceTime, and it relies on the Apple Intelligence and on-device processing for your privacy. The feature requires the iPhone 15 Pro or newer with Apple Intelligence enabled. The sender and the receiver must have the feature enabled at the same time. Oh, there's a bug. That's a bugaboo. So if they're talking to you on the phone, they need to activate that feature. Or if they're texting you. So it's not so much if you're standing out in the public and you're just trying to understand what these people are saying. All right, we're going to do a print screen on here. How many languages? We'll do a print screen that covers everything, including the top. The iOS 26 has different little barrier markers for your viewing pleasure when you're outlining how much of the area do you want covered with this. Yeah, we'll crop that tight. We'll crop that down just a little bit. We'll tighten up that little bit. There we go. That looks good. Now you press the check mark up here in the upper right corner twice. Once that you're done, and number 2, save the photos. AI mode. Let's do that. Yeah, we get a little more complete, a little different kind of an answer in the AI mode. Based on available information, the live translation feature in iOS supports a total of 17 languages at launch. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, they don't exactly have that. Those other ones are added later. All right, well, let's need to sharpen up that a little bit. We'll do a print screen on that one, just to, Oh, AI responses may include mistakes. Yes, it does, because this does not agree with the one from Apple. We'll give them thumbs down on that one. Sorry, guys. Yep, and I'm not gonna. If I have to give you a long explanation, then heck with you. There you go. Here's a. Whoa. This is the WWDC. The broad language coverage and fast expansion. A unified translation ecosystem. Gives you real-time capabilities for group chats. All right, well. I was just giving you a real-time. There it is, right there. That's what stimulated my inquiry. It's 11:30. That means we've been on the air 1 hour and 27 minutes. There's another thing for Boca Raton people. Boca Raton chooses 7 school zones where speed cameras will be installed. This one is close by. We know about this one. Yes, we do. Speed limit 15 when flashing. Yep. So I drew an arrow down there, and then I drew an arrow to the story. Boca Raton officials have announced 3 school zones immediately in town where cameras will sight drivers who violate the speed limits. And it's just like automatic. They don't, I don't know whether something turns red or what. On Palmetto Park Road, there's a school right on there. And Palmetto Park Road is a main thoroughfare through the city that goes right through to the beach. It's one of those main county roads. And that's the kind of roads they're talking about. If you read further in the story. I grabbed the picture there when flashing. In April, the city approved a contract with Red Speed, Florida, to provide the first tranche of cameras as part of a pilot program. The locations have not been decided at this time, largely due to the fact that Boca Raton officials were tasked with determining jurisdictional issues, since many schools are located on county roadways. What? In other words, this is a road that slices right through the whole county. Glades Road does not go to the beach. No, I don't know if you go west on Glades. If you go east on Glades, I don't think there's speed reduction. But if you go west of the mall on Glades, there may be, some schools, that are on Glades going westbound from the mall. I don't ride the road, west of the mall that often, so, but I live in downtown Boca Raton, and if I want to get out of downtown and go west, let's say to 95 or to the Everglades, Hillsborough, goes, beach to, the Everglades. Well, that's in Broward County. In southern Palm Beach County, Palmetto Park Road is it. Glades does not go. It dead ends into Federal Highway. If you go further north to the Avenue, 27th Avenue, now that goes to the beach and starts heading west and keeps going west. You go past 95 and it keeps on going. So the Avenue in Del Rey goes to the beach and it goes west and awful far away. I don't know if it goes all the way to the Everglades. But if it does, that'd be, 40th Street. My mind's eye, that goes to A1A. Yep. You take 40th Street, goes over the bridge. That's probably, one of those county roads that if there's a school on it, that's where, what do they call it? Red what? Red Speed, Florida. We can, let's get the pen out. And let's just put a big green square around. There we go. Look at that. You just hold it a little bit, and all those lines straighten up. We're going to go back to see if we can be a little better on not crossing out. There we go. All right, I didn't get the E. There we go. Is that clear? That's as clear as a bell. I don't know what that means exactly. It's one of those idiomatic expressions. Clear as a bell. I don't know why a bell is clear. But when that sucker is flashing, yeah, flashing. Let's play. We're going to do that. Then we touch the pen. Then we're going to go big on this. And we're going to do a red pen. And we're going to do this one. Red. All right, let's draw a big circle around this sucker. We don't like that. That's too. Let's try this one. You're going all the way around here. Yeah. That's clear, right? I drew a circle right around that. When that sucker's flashing red, Fred, you better be 15 miles an hour. Actually, this is not on Palmetto Park Road. This is on some other little stinky road somewhere. It's 20. Oh, Palmetto Park Road's 20. This is, when they did this story, this is on a road that is 15 miles an hour. But we'll leave it alone. All right, I sent a package back to UPS. And they got it. It's in the hands of UPS. That's all you can do when you're returning something to Amazon.com. Because when we have your package, because I put it down in the lobby and I don't stand there and look at it. My security guy, there's cameras and all kinds of stuff to watch out, but someone walks off with a microwave oven that's worth a couple of $100. You put it down there and trust, somewhere between, 8 and noon, UPS is gonna grab that sucker. And at 1:56 p.m., they got it. We have your package. That means it went on the truck. I don't know if it means they actually got to Deerfield. Could be. Maybe they picked it up at 10 on their way back. So they deliver all their 10 o'clock packages and pick up whatever's, when you're in a multifamily building where you have several hundred people living in the same building, you don't have to go to the UPS store or the UPS depot or location to deliver a package, for shipment. You can, if you need help packaging it or, I have a UPS account, so I could send my own packages. But, when you do a return, Amazon is good enough to, make a sticker like this. Assurian, the insurance company. So in Williamsville, New York, where that is, probably upstate somewhere, it's 1955 Worley, Wehrle, Worley Drive, Suite B. Assurian Protection Plan, Worley Suite B. Anyway, so they're going to get my device, which doesn't turn on anymore. So I'm going to send it back. I got a receipt, which I'll put in the package. Apparently I had enough to cause them to issue a thing, and then they scan this. If they have a scanner, they scan that code, and that refers to the insurance claim number, 1,872,481,339th claim. You think that's possible? God, a billion claims? Whew. Anyway, there's my UPS number. I just got to stick that on there and let UPS have it. I have to see if I have a box. I know I have the box the thing came in. Let's send it back. This switch is like, you push it 20 times and it won't turn on. Well, it's on right now. It works if you can get it on. But it's not easy to get on. Here's a story before I go. Governor DeSantis is standing there in Florida's alligator Alcatraz. Cute. Because of the president's interest in maybe opening up Alcatraz again for prisoners. Because it's not a nice place. And the one thing you're trying to impress on the world is, if you sneak in our border and you get caught, you're going to this badass place. Yep, and you may just rot somewhere in a corner. We forget you. Or you can go to Florida's alligator Alcatraz. And if you escape, lots of luck. Because you got to cross about 30 miles of alligators and python snakes. So you better not go to sleep, baby, or you're going to get squeezed. That sucker's going to roll up your leg and then just wiggle its body up to the top of your chest, and it's gonna just squeeze you. And then the snake is gonna keep squeezing and keep moving up your body. It goes from foot to head. And then it's gonna turn its head around and open up its mouth and just swallow your asshole. Yeah, you're just, because it's squeezing you, baby. So therefore, all your lungs are going to get crushed. You ain't going to be breathing. And then it's just going to take you whole and just digest you. It's going to swallow you head to foot and just push you right on inside, just like it would, some big animal. It'll sneak up on a gator. Yeah, but it'll also sneak up on an escaped prisoner. So, surrounding this 10,700-foot runway. Now, runway is a serious piece of excavation. It has a slight pitch to it. So that it could be maybe like a very slight crown, but it is, like 14-inch thick, high tensile strength, reinforced concrete. Like the 10,000 PSI version, 10,000 pounds per square inch. Because a big jet, like Air Force One, this can handle Air Force One, which might have 300,000 or 400,000 pound weight, including, particularly if it's full of fuel. I think that brings it up over 400,000 pounds on those wheels. Well, you got a bunch of wheels down there, but it's still 500,000 pounds. So when it comes down and lands, it lands with, it may not be as gentle as you would hope. It has shock absorbers, and there's springs, high tensile strength springs, so that when it comes down, the wings don't fall off. So it cushions the landing in case the landing is a little more aggressive, than otherwise. Sometimes when there's a lot of updrafts, downdrafts, rain, bad weather, but you got to land, the landing might be a little more of a controlled crash. As a matter of fact, American Airlines even used to have a little expression. We want you to land every landing as a controlled crash. We want very firm landings, so there's no question about, we don't want you bouncing up off the runway. You come down hard and keep it down. I think the pilots of 747, when it's an Air Force One, which means that when the president is not on the airplane, it's just a 747. Although it's reserved for the president. And it's cleaned, and it has White House secure staff, Secret Service people are probably on board 24/7 to make sure no one sneaks in it. It has several egresses and ingress points, so there's probably an agent at each door. So there's one, forward in the cockpit and aft at the back of the plane. And also at the point of egress and ingress in the front part of the plane. There's also a trap door. There's a door on the second level, or the below the main deck. There's another egress and ingress point, which the former president used, so he didn't have to climb the big boy stairs. He climbed the little boy stairs, which is usually reserved for the help. But because he was, 81 years old, and he kept on tripping on the stairs, and the main stairs are up high, where all the networks can see him tripping up. And of course, those film clips are reserved. Yeah. Oh boy. They are reserved. Look at that. They got little buttons that you can save. Yeah. I didn't know that. So if I do this, no, that's just for that. All right. Anyway, DeSantis was at at least not too sure of this. What's this? Daily Beast. This might have been yesterday. So I believe yesterday, DeSantis was at Florida's Alcatraz. He's basically saying, "We are in service. I am now inspecting this place to see what it's like with prisoners, detainees is the nice word for that. Yeah. So that I can edit this. I'm going to edit this because I see something I want to clean up. You see where it says flip? The name of the app is called Flipboard, but I don't want the word flip. This is what you would touch if this was the app. But this is not the app. This is a print screen of the app, so I don't want flip on there because there ain't no flipping gonna happen. So let's not confuse the audience. Almost all gone. Isn't that amazing? It gets rid of it and gives you grass. A little piece there. Look at that. Flip is gone. Amazing as that is. Can you believe it? Let's brighten him up a little bit. Turn up the color a little bit. He looks a little pale. We need to... Where's the shadows? Brighten up his face a little bit. There we go. Now we can see his profile a little bit. There we go. Done. That's better. And we got rid of flip. See, you can do that with the tools that are afforded you. I'm going to leave the F up there in the corner. We could get rid of that too. Let's show you. Let's try anyway. Clean up. So I'm going to expand over this, and I'm just going to go around the outside edges. I don't think I have to color it in. And if you make a clear box all the way around, get all the corners. It didn't do it. That means I gotta scrub the whole stupid thing. So I'll scrub it and not worry about the parts that I missed a little bit. See what happens. No. Let's scrub up and down. Since now I'm committed. All right, let's scrub up and down. Jeez. Oh, God. just done it. Now I got a white spot up there. How do I get rid of that? Jeez. There we go. Now I got flipped back. This one worked, right? I did the square on this, and it was gone. You got to get all the. You got to get the whole square. You got to make sure you get everything. Well, it worked the first time. It ain't working the second time. This is a smaller piece than that big flip thing. I got it all. Bingo. There we go. Get out of there and just say you're done, James. Anyway, he was there to announce that we are now in business and the first plane of deportees have been expelled from the country. They're flying in and flying out. So this is like a buffer. It'll hold 2,000. It can hold up to 5,000, but right now it's set up for up to 2,000 and 2,000 detainees. In other words, people that have been adjudicated by a court with deportation orders. So they have, there's hundreds or thousands of detainees that have deportation orders. And they're just waiting. For example, they got a mixture of El Salvadorians and, Cubans and some other countries and, Brazilians and, other countries in South America and Central America. Since the tip of Florida, this is on the tip of Florida. This is 30 miles north of the tip of Florida, and it's right smack in the middle of nowhere. It's surrounded by swamps. And you don't want to be running along, no. You don't want to do it. Because you're going to get eaten by an alligator. And then, that wouldn't be good. Because they'll bite your leg and then clamp down on it and then just do a big flip and just rip your leg off. So then you have a body with a leg ripped off. Meanwhile, he's chomping down on your leg. And you're crawling around on your arms because you only have one leg now. And one's been ripped off. And when he's done swallowing your leg, he's gonna run after the rest of you. And you're not going to be able to outrun him. Because he's got 4 fast legs and you just lost one. Yep, so you'd be, plus you'd be bleeding out, with your artery ripped in half. Yeah, that's not a place you want to be. So you better just go back to your country and say to hell with it. Plus, you get mosquito bit. You'd be a mess. You're not going to get out of there without getting eaten. In the meantime, you're going to be mosquitoes everywhere. Oof! When the sun starts to go down, you're not going to have any blood left. They're going to suck all your blood out, one bite after another. Oof! You'd be a mess. Plus, you get poison ivy, poison sumac. There's 3 or 4 poisonous bushes out there you're going to bump up against. And that's going to, oh my God, you're gonna be all messed up. You just, you run back to the prison cell and say, please, put me back in the cage. Please, hose me down. Get all this. Yeah. Yeah, you'd be running back. Plus you got all them big python snakes in there. Sooner or later you gotta slow down. And those pythons will get you. If the gators don't. Particularly at sundown, that's when they want dinner. you'd be either breakfast or dinner. And during the daytime, you're gonna be a fried egg. Because it'd be hot. And, they'd be biting you. Oh, my God, you move around, you get poison ivy, you get poison sumac. You are going to be one loused up person. Anyway, he's announcing the first plane load of, what do you call them, prisoners to Venezuela. Also, this is important. If you have a few Apple products and you have Apple Care on several products, like I do, oh my God, my life is an open book. So if I press this thing up here and I go to subscriptions, where you see the list of stuff I got, oh my God. Look at it, Apple this, Apple that, Apple Care Plus, on my iPad Pro 11-inch, my iPad Pro 12.9-inch, my MacBook. That's not part of this conversation. I got two of those, yeah. Apple Care for iPad, the A16 version. I got it on that. It's an old one. It's probably a $349. Boy, that was in the early days. There's Apple Care Pro 12.9-inch. I got two of those, yep. There's another 11-inch, a new one, yep. There's the Apple Care 13-inch, that's this one, $849. What they do is, the special deal is, gosh darn it. See, these touch screens are so freaking sensitive. So you see the iPads, theft and loss. That's the iPhone I got sitting next to me. I should have another one of those from Maryland. How come I don't see two? There's one up there, Pro Max, and can you believe all this stuff? That's it. Yeah. Let me look at my iPhone and see if I got it. I certainly should. Subscriptions. The last four digits of the serial number is H14T. Excuse me. Let's go to there you go. See H14T. It says this iPhone. There we go. Apple Care and warranty. Let's press that one. AppleCare Plus with theft and loss. Renews August 20. And it shows the 4 or 5 things. So, it says upgrade coverage. So let's see if I do it here. So you do it on a device. On the device that you... this is live television, folks. See, here's the 13-inch. Let's see if I touch that. All right, I'm going to upgrade coverage. Let's see what it offers me. I don't know if you can see this. See, $19.95 a month, and I can bring 3 other devices in here. So you get 3 for $19.99. They don't leave even the 5 cents on the table. It's not $19.49. It's not $19.95. They want the 4 cents too, because they got billions of these phones. And when you multiply a billion by 4 cents, it adds up to real money. Yeah, it's like millions of dollars. So they go $19.99. They go right to, why don't they just say 20? Save us a lot of frickin' pennies. All right, I'm going to upgrade the coverage. And they're going to ask me, oh, crap. Shit. Ugh. I got to turn this on. I hate it. I've got to add one. I got to add something that has something to do with Apple Pay. Let's see if there's a... That's it. I never know what to do with this. It's not clear. So if I push that, what do I get? All right. Stupid light comes on. All right, let's go back. This is so painful, sorry. Trying to get to that upgrade thing. Okay. The system touches on. Right, so there we go. Upgrade coverage. And Great coverage. I'm looking for the Apple Pay thing. I never can seem to get the right button. Seems like I had this custom one, add one. Did that do it? You would think Apple Pay would show up real good. Custom. You fiddle enough with this stuff, and you end up with Apple Pay somehow. Not having a very good time with it. That's the problem with this stupid stuff. Well, that's going to be a mess because I can't figure out how to do it. So I'm going to leave you. You all have a great day. See you probably tomorrow early.